Sophie. Hi, Miss Sophie. How's it feeling?
Good, and I like it.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of So Not Scary. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this really cute Harry Potter t-shirt with a golden snitch on top and the words I open not the close using only my mini sewing machine and some HTV. So let's go ahead and get started. I found this really cute golden snitch image on Google Images and I printed it out, and then using a compass I drew out a simple circle for the actual snitch, and then following the reference image I tried to draw some wings, and I went over this a few different times just to make sure that I'm satisfied with the shape I'm making. But because I was unsure of so many lines, I took a pen and darkened the lines that I liked the most, so that later on when I'm cutting out the pattern, it's easier for me to tell which one I like. I also added some detailing because I was thinking maybe I might want to do some thread work later, but you'll realize that I didn't do that later. So now that the drawing is finished, I cut out the circle and I cut out the wings separately as well using a sharp pair of scissors. You have to kind of go really slowly and as accurately as possible here because this is going to be the actual pattern you're going to be using to cut out the different pieces of your applique. With the wing, you will see that as I started cutting, I realized that, hey, I actually liked my pencil lines better than the pen lines. So I moved back over my lines. But it's all okay, we've got one wing and one circle cut out. So now we're ready to move on to the next step. I've got some applique paper, also called Wonder Under here, and I place my circle on it and roughly chalk out the area that circle is going to take. This is to reduce wasting any fabric that we might be using. So I roughly cut out that chunk of applique paper and I place it on top of our felt. Now we're going to heat press it onto the felt using a hot dry iron, and in this way that's not going to shift anywhere while we're working with it. Okay, so now we're going to take our pattern, place it on top of the applique paper and tape it down so that there is no movement while we're cutting out our fabric. It's all taped down now, and now we can take a sharp pair of scissors and start accurately cutting that felt circle out. Go nice and slow, use a sharp pair of scissors, and before long the circle for the golden snitch is all ready for us. I've taken a sharp instrument and removed the backing paper, and what we're left with is a nice yellow circle with glue on one side that can be ironed onto the t-shirt. It's time to do the wings now, so I'm going to take some gray felt and again hot press some applique paper onto one side of it. So that's one applique paper piece and that's the other one. Just fuse it on really quickly, and then we're going to take the wing pattern and tape it onto one of those pieces. Just go all the way around, flattening it out and taping it onto the back of the paper. And now using a pair of scissors, accurately cut the wing out. Do the concave sides first before moving on to the convex sides, and in this way you'll be able to cut out your pattern much more easily. One wing is cut out. We can use the sharp instrument to remove the backing paper now. There it is, it's coming off easily. And now for the other wing, what we'll do is we're going to flip over the pattern so it's a mirror image of the first wing. And again, repeating the same steps, we're taping it onto the back of the applique paper, and once it's taped on, we're going to cut the concave sides first, and then once that's done, we're going to move on to the outer convex edge, and this makes it just so much more easier to accurately cut out the pattern. So this felt is also cut out nice and neatly. We can move on to the next step, which is fusing on the golden snitch onto the t-shirt. So I take a t-shirt and the first step is to iron it out nice and smooth. There it is, looking lovely. We're going to flip it over, or inside out actually, and now I'm going to take a piece of a thin fusible interfacing and iron it onto the inside front of the t-shirt to give it some body. Once that's done, we're going to fold the t-shirt in half vertically and using a blunt instrument, just press down on that crease. Guys, if this video is making sense, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That's it, let's move on with our Golden Snitch project. So there we are, making the creases down the front middle of our t-shirt. And once you open the t-shirt out, you have a clear guide to follow so you can position your applique accurately. So I position the circle in the middle and I fuse it on using a hot iron, and then I take the wings and I position them exactly where I want them on top of the t-shirt. And again, using a hot iron, I'm pressing down to fuse the wings in place. This will allow us to stitch the applique properly without all the pieces shifting everywhere. So now that the felt is all fused onto the t-shirt, we can set up our mini sewing machine. So here it is, the mini sewing machine is all set up with white thread. I open up my t-shirt and slide it underneath the presser foot. We're starting with the yellow part and placing the presser foot just on the inside of the edge. We're going to start doing a nice smooth circle all along the inside edge of that yellow felt circle. And because it's a nice gentle curve, you can actually get away with doing 3 stitches at a time before you have to lift the presser foot and swivel the project. And so before long it's done. I've left quite a lot of string at the end so that I can tie knots after all the sewing is done. For the gray felt wings, I'm keeping it super simple, just starting with the outermost corner. I'm going to work a nice gentle curve along the inside edge, and then once I reach the opposite corner, I just simply lift the presser foot, swivel the whole project around 180 degrees and continue to sew along all the gentle curves. The second wing was much more easier because I'd already done one wing before, so I knew what curves to follow. Once the sewing is done, it's time now to get a hand sewing needle, which will allow us to pass the top threads onto the back and the inside of the t-shirt. So just like that, I'm going to poke the needle through, pass the top set of threads through the needle's eye and pass them onto the back of the t-shirt. Once I've passed the threads through to the inside of the t-shirt, I'm going to do that with the wings as well. So we'll have 3 different sets of threads passing over to the back and inside of the t-shirt. Once at the back, I'm going to do a tight double knot along all the 3 points that we had just stitched down. And this will make sure that our project is nice and secure and we can wash our t-shirt really easily without worrying about the threads unraveling. Next, I've got this beautiful golden foil HTV. I'm going to take my compass and open it slightly smaller than the radius of the original yellow circle. And now I'm going to make another circle pattern and cut it out. This will be the pattern for cutting our HTV out. So once the circle's cut out, just like before we did with the felt, I'm going to take the circle and stick it onto the back of the HTV. So that was really easy. Now I'm going to take a sharp pair of scissors, which are not for cutting fabric, and I'm going to cut out this golden HTV circle really quickly. So this is a really simple process, and the golden circle's all cut out. Now this is my heat press. I've heated it up to 160 degrees. I'm going to place the golden HTV on top of the felt circle and press it down under a layer of Teflon fabric. There it is. Now we have to peel off the plastic top cover and we've got our beautiful golden mirror HTV all done. But do you see that because it's a white t-shirt, even after doing this beautiful shimmering golden snitch, you can see that there's a lot of white space sitting there right underneath our applique, which is making the t-shirt look really empty and bland. So the solution for me is that I have some lovely sparkly golden HTV and I use my electronic cutter to cut out some words and letters in reverse. Here I am weeding them out, and this is a really simple process, but you do have to go rather slowly and carefully. After the weeding's finished, we are left with these beautiful sparkly rainbow letters, and I aligned them in the middle of the t-shirt using this little black dot that I marked with a pen. Okay, and now I'm going to press this down using my heat press as well. And there you have it. The beautiful rainbow letters are all heat pressed, and look how shimmery and sparkly the t-shirt looks. All done now, ready to be worn. And there is Miss Sophie wearing her t-shirt. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I will see you on Monday. Take care. Bye.